Have you ever faced something so painful that you felt like the whole world was moving on without you? Did you know that 70% of individuals worldwide have experienced at least one traumatic event in their lifetime? And in America, 57% of individuals in the last 3 years faced a significant loss. But when it's happening to you, it can feel like the whole world is moving forward while you stand still, adding feelings of isolation to an already really painful circumstance, just deepening the suffering. When I was in my 20s and I was 34 weeks pregnant with my second child, it was a cold day and it was after work and I was exhausted. I drove over to the daycare and I picked my son up like I had done hundreds of times before. We went out, got into the car, I put him into his car seat, jumped up in the front seat, and then he started throwing an unholy fit. He was so upset he needed something to eat right now. So as I was moving forward at about 5 to 10 miles an hour, I leaned forward to the passenger side floorboard and grabbed some crackers that were in a baggie, pulled them up, and as I was coming up, I heard a thud and saw a young girl, 18 years old, fly up on my car, denting my windshield. I could not believe what was going on. I came to a screeching halt, jumped out of the car, literally peed my pants, ran around the car, and asked her if she was okay. "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Are you okay?" She got up and she was a little bit stunned and kind of out of it, but she seemed okay. And then she got evaluated at the ER. They said she had no broken bones. She had no internal injuries. She was going to be fine. And yet I could not forgive myself. I thought to myself, what kind of idiot takes their eyes off the road to grab crackers? I could have pulled the car over and I didn't. Why did I do that? And I just went around and around and around, beating myself up. It was so hard for me to forgive myself. Then years later, as a counselor, I got a call. This woman told me that years before, she had had an accident where she hit her niece and it took her life. They were bosom buddies, super close, and she was devastated. She was grieving, she was depressed, but more than anything, she could not forgive herself. And let me tell you, guilt can keep you stuck in grieving like nothing else. And so I held space for her. I validated her feelings, and I told her about the stages of grief, just kind of helping her understand what to expect and how it might go. And then I decided to share the story about how at a younger age, I too had hit someone. We got off the phone and we scheduled to talk again. So we talked again about 2 weeks later. It was our next and final session, because when she got on the phone, she was in a lot better place. And she said, when I got off the phone, I was so excited. I went to my mom and I said, "Mom, you're not going to believe this. My counselor hit a person." That's when she realized she wasn't alone and she was finally able to forgive herself and start moving on with her life. By being present and transparent, we break down the walls that separate us, getting rid of that isolation and opening up the opportunity and the possibility for healing. So I encourage you to do 3 things. 1, be vulnerable. 2, listen to other people's stories. And 3, share your stories. If you ever felt alone in your suffering, or you found solace in sharing your story or hearing someone else's, I'd love to hear from you. Please write it in the comments below. If you want to have more information or get in contact with me, go to www.resolvetorise.com and send me an email. Remember, we're never alone in suffering.